Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this new session of our discussion on Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. Today, our topic is major themes in this very modern realistic drama written by Arthur Miller. अजीज़ तलबा व तालिबात, आज हमारा मौजू इसके अंदर जो मोटिव्स हैं ड्रामे के अंदर, इसके जो मेजर थीम्स हैं, जो कंसर्न्स हैं, जिनको उसने बेस बनाकर जो है वो अपनी प्लॉट कंस्ट्रक्शन की है, जो पैगाम हमें जो है वो मैसेज जो है वो देना चाहता है इस ड्रामा के थ्रू, उस पर आज हम बात करेंगे। तो ये सवाल इम्तहानी नुक्ता नज़र से अहम भी है, वेरी वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट, और इसको आपने इम्तहानी नुक्ता नज़र से ही जो है वो तैयार करना है। तो सवाल ज़रा लेंथी है, तो आइए अपने सवाल का आगाज़ करते हैं। Dear students, death of a salesman addresses loss of identity and a man's inability to accept change within himself and society. The play is a montage of memories, dreams, confrontations, and arguments, all of which make up the last 24 hours of Willie Loman's life, the protagonist in this very drama. The three major themes within the play are denial, that is, running away from truth, contradictions of every kind that are social, moral, and ethical and economic as well, that is the industrial realities, and order versus disorder in social life, in family life, everywhere around the protagonist. Each member of the Loman family is living in denial mode or perpetuating a cycle of denial for others as well. Willie Loman is incapable of accepting the fact that he is a mediocre type of salesman, not a very exceptional or extraordinary salesman. Instead, Willie strives for his version of the American dream, that is success and notoriety, even if he is forced to deny reality in order to achieve it. Instead of acknowledging that he is not a well-known and well-accomplished success in life as a salesman, Willie retreats into the past memories and chooses to relive past memories and events in which he is perceived as successful. Running away from life and its realities becomes a big burden on his life and soul, and he succumbs to death at last, and under this big pressure of socio-economic realities. Dear students, as we have already seen in previous questions, that Willie Loman resorts to the past memories time and again whenever he is in a fuss. He is always in a fuss. Uh, Therefore, he lives too much in the past rather than in present or future. For example, Willie's favorite memory is of Biff's last football game because Biff vows to make a touchdown just for his father. In this scene in the past, Willie can hardly wait to tell the story to his buyers. He considers himself famous as a result of his son's pride in him. Willie's sons, Biff and Happy, adopt Willie's habit of denying or manipulating reality and practice it all of their lives, much to their detriment, rather. They are as a failure as their father is. It is only at the end of the play that Biff admits he has been a phony too, just like Willie. Linda is the only character that recognizes the Loman family lives in denial. However, she goes along with Willie's fantasies in order to preserve his fragile mental state. Dear students, as we have discussed in Arthur Miller as a dramatist, contradictions in The whole of this play are to be found everywhere. The second major theme of the play is contradiction. Throughout the play, Willy's behavior is riddled with inconsistencies. In fact, the only thing consistent about Willy is his inconsistency, you may say. From the very beginning of Act 1, Scene 1, Willy reveals this tendency. He labels Biff a lazy bum, but then contradicts himself 2 lines later when he states, and such a hard worker. There is one thing about Biff. He is not lazy. Willy's contradictions often confuse audiences at the beginning of the play. However, they soon become a trademark of his character. Willy's inconsistent behavior is the result of his inability to accept reality and his tendency to manipulate or recreate the past in an attempt to escape the present. बेटे ये कंट्राडिक्शंस ना सिर्फ ये कि उसकी गुफ्तगू में हैं, उसके एक्शंस में भी कंट्राडिक्शंस हैं. वो बजाय रियलिटी का सामना करने के, आपको पता है, वर्ल्ड ऑफ फैंटेसीज, वर्ल्ड ऑफ ड्रीम्स में रहना पसंद करता है. दिस इज़ आल्सो अ कंट्राडिक्शन. फिर उसने जो है वो डिसऑर्डरली लाइफ गुजारी है, जो कि ऑर्डर की डिनाइल है. और भी बहुत सी जो है वो कंट्राडिक्शंस आपको जो है जैसे जैसे आप ड्रामा पढ़ते हैं इसके अंदर उतरते हैं. तो आप कह सकते हैं द मेन प्रोटागोनिस्ट, द मेन करेक्टर हैज़ गॉट all a very good amalgam of contradictions in himself. His personality is rather crushed through this contradictory attitude throughout his life. Dear students, going further into this concept of contradiction, for example, we can say Willy cannot resign himself to the fact that Biff no longer respects him because of Willy's affair with that lady woman. Rather than admitting that their relationship is irreconcilable, Willy retreats to a previous time when Biff admired and respected him. This is a very big contradiction. Their relationships are now sore as father and son, but he goes to the past when he had very good relations with the boy. As the play continues, Willy disassociates himself more and more from the present and runs into the past as his problems become too numerous to deal with in the present for him. He is unable to cope with the present situation of affairs and runs and resorts to the past to find a solace and salvation there, mentally and spiritually, to lay off the burden of today. He has become a man of fluctuating, contradicting nature indeed. Dear students, although there are many conflicts to be found in the play, like the conflict between Willy's dreams and the world of reality today, this is a very big conflict between Willy and society he is living in. But apparently, the central conflict, you may say, of the play is between Willy and his elder son Biff, who showed great promise as a young athlete and ladies' man, an attractive young boy, but in adulthood has become a thief and a drifter and a runaway type of boy with no clear direction of life. Willy's other son, Happy, while on a more secure career path, is superficial and seems to have no loyalty to anyone. By delving into Willy's memories, the play is able to trace how the values Willy instilled in his sons. ये बड़ी ख़ास बात है बेटे कि ये चूँकि वो खुद एक लेथार्जिक लेज़ी लाइफ गुजारी है, उसने नेगेटिव लाइफ, ख्वाबों की ज़िंदगी, तो वही कुछ जो है वो उसने अपने बच्चों में इंस्टिल किया है, उन्हीं खूबियों को अपने बच्चों तक मुंतकिल किया है. बच्चों ने गोया यूँ कह लें, द फैमिली हैज़ इनहेरिटेड ऑल दोज क्वालिटीज़ ऑफ करेक्टर विली स्टैंड्स फॉर. लक ओवर हार्ड वर्क. देखे, ये उसने सारी उम्र अपनी लक को ही जो है वो कोसा और लाख पर ही इन्हिसार करता रहा, हार्ड वर्क नहीं किया। हालांकि हार्ड वर्क इज़ ए की टू सक्सेस, बट ही थिंक्स दैट लक इज़ अ की टू सक्सेस। लाइकेबिलिटी ओवर एक्सपर्टाइज, और ये पसंदीदगी कि मैं सबसे अच्छा वो सेल्समैन बन जाऊंगा, और मेहनत नहीं की, अमली काम कोई नहीं किया। लेट देम टू डिसअपॉइंट बोथ हिम एंड देम सेल्व्स एज अडल्ट्स। जब वो बड़े हुए हैं बच्चे, तो बाप तो पहले ही अपने इन ख्वाबों के हाथों चूर हो गया है, ख़त्म हो गया है, तो बच्चे भी जो हैं इन ख्वाबों की तलखियों का जो है वो शिकार हुए हैं और तबाह हो गए हैं। द ड्रीम ऑफ ग्रैंड ईजी सक्सेस दैट विली पास्ड ऑन टू हिज सन्स इज़ बोथ बैरन एंड ओवरवेलमिंग। अच्छा जुमला है बेटे, अंडरलाइन कर लें। एंड सो बिफ एंड हैप्पी आर एमलेस, प्रोड्यूसिंग नथिंग, and it is Willie who is still working, trying to plant seeds in the middle of the night in order to give his family sustenance, and rather is committing suicide at the end to provide bread and butter to the family. Biff realizes at the play's climax that only by escaping from the dream that Willie has instilled in him, uh, father and son be free to pursue fulfilling lives. Happy never realizes this, and at the end of the play, he vows to continue in his father's footsteps, pursuing an American dream that will leave him surely empty and alone in the end. This is the conflict between, you may say, two generations. There is a generation gap. There is a void in between father and his sons. He has not been able to groom them as he should have because of his lack of interest in the family. He just busied himself overtly in his wrong pursuit of success, his daydreaming. तो बेटे वो अच्छी तरह से अपने बच्चों की वो परवरिश नहीं कर सका, उनमें वो खूबियाँ, वो वैल्यूज़ डेवलप नहीं कर सका, उन्हें हकीकी कामयाबी का चेहरा नहीं दिखा सका, रियलिटी से उनको दूर रखा। रियलिटी यही है दुनिया की, इस तल्ख दुनिया की, मटेरियलिस्टिक दुनिया की, कि जो मेहनत करता है कामयाब होता है। सिर्फ हैंडसम होने से, जिसे हम लाइकेबिलिटी ये कहता है, हैंडसम होने से या इत्तफाकिया कामयाबी जो है, उससे जो है वो बंदा बड़ा नहीं बनता है। हार्ड वर्क इज़ अ की टू सक्सेस, एंड ही हैज़ नॉट गिवन दिस वैल्यूएबल advice, piece of advice to his sons at all. And this is the main conflict from where the whole destruction of the family starts. And dear students, then we find another theme intertwined into the plot of the play. This is the urban life versus the rural life. That is to say, industrialism against naturalism, life in nature. Materialism versus natural life in the lap of nature. This is what the modern world is all about. City life is a prosaic life, flat life, life of running after your lucrative money making day and night. ये जो थीम है ना बेटे, ये मल्टी डिमेंशनल थीम है, नेचर वर्सेस सिटी लाइफ। इसमें कई पहलू जो हैं वो उसने मिलर ने कवर करने की कोशिश किया है। ख़राबियाँ जो हैं वो मटीरियलिज़म की और इंडस्ट्रियल दौर की, उनको हाईलाइट करने की कोशिश किया है। और ये यहाँ जो है वो दो तीन चीज़ें ऐसी हैं जो मिसालों में इधर आपको मिल जाएंगी, जिनका हवाला देना ज़रूरी है कि वो जानबूझकर जो है वो ये मिसालें जो है वो अपने सामने रखता है। देखिए, विली लो मैन जो है, ही इज़ रनिंग आफ्टर द ड्रीम ऑफ द सिटी, दैट इज़ टू से द मटीरियल वर्ल्ड, द वर्ल्ड ऑफ क्रशिंग रियलिटीज़, वेयर एज Ben, on the other hand, the character we follow has got a success in the lap of nature. तो ये वो एक ज़बरदस्त किस्म का कंट्रास्ट जो है, कंपैरिजन जो है वो मिलर ने यहाँ हमारे सामने रखा है। The towering apartment buildings that surround Willy's house, which make it difficult for him to see the stars and block the sunshine that would allow him to grow a garden in his backyard, represent the artificial world of the city. That is also intended by the author to rip off the artificiality of the modern city living with all its commercialism and superficiality encroaching on his little spot of self determination. That is another comparison you will find in this drama. He compares the superficiality and commercialism, industrialization of the modern age, of the modern city life to the natural, pure, simple living of the village. He yearns to follow the rugged trail his brother Ben has blazed by going into the wilderness of Africa and Alaska in search of diamonds, or even building wooden floats and selling them on the rural frontiers of America as his father did. But Willie is both too timid and too late. He doesn't have the courage to head out into nature and try his fortune there. And anyway, that world of a wild frontier waiting to be exploited no longer exists now. Industrialization has swallowed almost every spot of nature around the city. Instead, the urban world has replaced the rural. This is important one. No, urbanization is the truth of the day. And Willie chooses to throw his lot in with the world of sales. That is a symbol of modern city living, which does not involve making things but rather selling someone or oneself. बेटे ये देखे नेचर क्रिएट्स वेयर एज सिटी सेल्स. तो यहाँ वो नेचर प्रोड्यूस करती है, जबकि सिटी एरिया में आपको पता है सेलिंग होती है, सेलिंग ऑफ ए पर्सन सेल्फ रिस्पेक्ट, सेल्फ abilities, qualities, whatever. Biff and Happy embody these two sides of Willie's personality, the individualist dreamer and the eager to please salesman. Biff works with his hands on farms, helping horses give birth, while Happy schemes within the stiffening atmosphere of a department store. While Willie collects household appliances and cars, as the American dream has taught him to do, these things do not ultimately leave him satisfied, and he thinks of his own death in terms of finally venturing into nature, going to the dark jungle that the limits of his life have never allowed him to enter. At last, nature just takes him into its lap. आखिर में देखो उसकी मौत भी जो है ना बड़ी सिम्बॉलिक है कि ही गोज़ टू द जंगल टू कमिट सुसाइड. तो फितरत ही जो है ना आखिरकार उसकी तमाम दुखों का मदावा बनती है. सिटी लाइफ जो है वो उसे दुख देती है. इट इज़ पेनफुल, torturing, tormenting, ruining, destroying. On the other hand, nature comes to his rescue from this hell of life, and gives him solace and peace and comfort and calm at the end of his life. Although a very failed life, you may say. Then, dear students, we find two other themes, although they are um, discussed minorly, intertwined into the very fabric of the story. These are the abandonment and betrayal themes. Inspired by his love for his family, Willie ironically abandons them, just enters into his self conceit and self deceit, just as he himself was abandoned by his father when he was 3. He comes to home after days and weeks. The tragedy of Willie's death comes about because of his inability to distinguish between his value as an economic resource and his identity as a human being. This is very important. The woman with whom Willie cheats on Linda is able to feed Willie's salesman ego by liking him. He is proud of being able to sell himself to her, and this feeling turns to shame only when he sees that by giving stockings to the woman rather than Linda, he is sabotaging his role as a provider, as a head of family. He doesn't see that as love, not material items, is the primary thing Linda needs from him. The link between love and betrayal is present throughout the play. Part of Bates' revelation at the play's end is that Willie has betrayed him by encouraging him to settle for nothing less than greatness, thus making the compromises of the real world impossibly difficult. Happy and even Linda also betray Willie out of a kind impulse to not shake him out of his illusions, which forces Willie's fragile mind to deal alone with the growing discrepancy between his dreams and his life. This type of abandonment, which takes place at many levels, and betrayal on the part of the characters we find in this family, the Lowman family, uh, this is we are not amazed as readers. This is a common enough trait of the modern age. In his rush of rush of collecting and coining money, each and every member of this modern world has got this kind of attitude, that is abandoning others and living for themselves. बट ये क्या से कहते हैं, मादा प्रस्ती की खूबियों में से एक खूबी गिनी जाती है आजकल। बेट्रेयल जो है ना, वो अब वो नहीं रही, क्या उसे कहते हैं, जो पुराने ज़माने की खूबियों में से एक होती थी कि किसी को बेट्रे नहीं करना है और अबैंडन नहीं करना है। सिंपथी, अफेक्शन, लव, ये सारी चीज़ें जो थी वो अब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, जैसे ही ये मटेरियलिज्म ने, कमर्शलिज्म ने हमें घेरा है, तो ये आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जो ना दम तोड़ रही हैं ये वैल्यूज़। और आर्थर मिलर यही पैगाम जो है वो हम तक पहुंचाना चाहता है कि इट इज़ अ वेरी बिग लॉस इन द मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड दैट वी हैव lost many valuable values and norms of society which were considered to be the mainstream, main link between and amongst human beings as a living entity. And what is the replacement? This is very disgusting. The replacement of the old golden values by abandonment and betrayal at the hands of our own people, our own loved ones, near ones, dear ones, just like Willie Loman. Dear students, the whole drama, the tragic drama of Willie Loman's life, presented by Arthur Miller, shows us that disorder leads to utter disaster, whereas order and discipline are the order of the day. They may lead to success, that is, the promised success in the land of opportunity, America. The third major theme of the play, which is order versus disorder, to say so, results from Willie's retreats into the past indeed. Each time Willie loses himself in the past, he does so in order to deny the present, especially if the present is too difficult to cope with, to accept. As the play progresses, Willie spends more and more time in the past as a means of re establishing order in his life in search of order. He goes to the past but finds nothing orderly there, as the whole of his life has been disorderly, indisciplined. The more fragmented and disastrous reality becomes, the more necessity it is for Willie to create an alternative reality, even if it requires him to live solely in the past. This is demonstrated immediately after Willie is fired. Ben appears and Willie confides, nothing is working out. I don't know what to do. Ben quickly shifts the conversation to Alaska and offers Willie a job. Linda appears and convinces Willie that he should stay in sales, just like Dave Singleman. Willie's confidence quickly resurfaces, and he is confident that he has made the right decision by turning down Ben's offer. He is certain he will be a success like single man, the famous salesman of America. Thus, Willie's memory has distracted him rather than bringing him to the road to success from the reality of losing his job. This is where we find order working against disorder. The message of Arthur Miller is that just like Willie Loman, disorder is a means to ruin, destruction, and utter disaster in the end. Whereas ordered life, disciplined life may lead to the promised success in living in a मॉडर्न सोसाइटी. और वैसे भी ये जनरल रूल के तौर पर भी आथर जो है वो इसको पेश करता है कि भाई देखें, डिसिप्लिन और ऑर्डर अगर आप अपनी ज़िंदगी में लाते हैं तो यही कामयाबी है, और इसी से जब मुनज़्ज़म तरीके से ही हम आगे जब वो कामयाबी की सीढ़ियाँ चढ़ते हैं, ख्वाबों की कामयाबी हो, खा वो हकीकत की कामयाबी हो, खा वो मटेरियलिस्टिक कामयाबी ही क्यों ना हो, उसमें भी डिसिप्लिन बहुत ज़रूरी है. और मटेरियल वर्ल्ड तो है ही ऑर्डर का नाम मौजूदा दौर में, इन विच द वर्ल्ड इन विच वी आर लिविंग is the other name of order and discipline. We are mere cogs in the running machine of this modern age. If we just slip away, fall lazy of our responsibilities, our obligations in a disorderly manner, we are crushed under the heavy machine of time. And this is what the message of this drama is. Dear students, let's make our under discussion points a bit elaborate, a bit clear. बेटा ये जो तीन नकात अभी हमने पीछे डिस्कस किए हैं, जो कि मेन और मेजर थीम्स हैं इसके, इनको ज़रा मज़ीद जो है वो यहाँ हम क्लैरिफाई करने की कोशिश करेंगे. अगरचे सारा पॉइंट जो है वो क्लियर तो हो गया है, लेकिन चलें ज़रा ये थोड़ा सा इजाफी मटेरियल है और अच्छे ज़रा जुमले हैं, तो इनको ज़रा देखते हैं. डिनायल, कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन एंड द क्वेस्ट फॉर ऑर्डर वर्सेस डिसऑर्डर इन द प्ले. Denial, contradiction, and the quest for order versus disorder comprise the three major themes of Death of a Salesman. All three themes work together to create a dreamlike atmosphere in which the audience watches a man's identity and mental stability slip away, rather ruined and destroyed gradually. Willie believes wholeheartedly in what he considers the promise of American dream, that a well-liked and personally attractive man outwardly in business will indubitably and deservedly acquire the material comforts offered by modern American life. There is the misconception on his part that it will happen automatically without any effort. Oddly, his fixation with the superficial qualities of attractiveness and likability is at odds with the more gritty, more rewarding understanding of the American dream that identifies hard work without complaint as the key to success in this material world of today. The road to success is through hard work, and there are no complaints considered in this rush of success. Willie's interpretation of likability is superficial. He childishly dislikes Bernard because he considers Bernard a nerd. Willie's blind faith in his stunted version of the American dream leads to his rapid psychological decline when he is unable to accept the disparity between the dream and his own life, the real life. That is a failed life indeed, a ruined and crushed life. The dream is there, but you have to grab it through effort and hard work. The dream is there, surely. The promise that the material world offers, the industrial world offers, is there to be got, but it has to be got through hard work, constant type of effort that is needed to reach that goal of material success. But unfortunately, Willie Loman contradicts this. He faces reality, runs away from reality, and lives in the world of dreams inactively, passively, without any effort. He thinks that the success will come to him automatically without doing anything on his own part. Dear students, one of the major themes is also the debunking of the American dream, indeed. Miller wants the readers to evaluate, re-evaluate, judge and rejudge this concept of the modern era, the American dream, that is the promise this land of opportunity offers. The American dream that anyone can achieve financial success and material comfort lies at the heart of death of a salesman. This is the string, the main string around which the whole story has been woven. Various secondary characters achieve the dream in different ways, and Arthur Miller has contrasted Willie Loman with many of them. Ben goes off into the wilderness of Alaska and Africa and locks into wealth by discovering a diamond mine. Howard Wagner inherits his dream through his father's company, while Bernard, who seemed a studious bore as a child, becomes a successful liar through hard work, dedication. Willie Loman's version of the dream, which has been influenced by his brother Ben's success, is that any man who is manly, good looking, charismatic, and well liked deserves success and will naturally and automatically achieve it. Over the course of his lifetime, Willie and his sons fall short of the impossible standards of his dream. But the real tragedy of the play is not that Willie fails to achieve the financial success promised in his American dream, but rather that he buys into the dream so thoroughly that he ignores the tangible things around him, such as the love of his family, while pursuing the success he hopes will bring his family security. By sacrificing himself at the end of the play in order to get his family the money from his life insurance policy, Willie literally kills himself for money. In the process, he demonstrates that the American dream, while a powerful vehicle of aspiration, can also turn a human being into a product or commodity, a running machine, mere cog in the running machine, whose sole value is his financial worth. A man is important in the running machine of life, running machine of this materialism, so long as he is useful. As long as he is useful, he is well liked in this materialistic world. When he loses his value, he is ruined, he is destroyed by this working machine. वो ये तो बड़ा मादा परस्ती का आम सा असूल है, जिसको जो है आर्थर मिलर जो है वो यहाँ एक तरह से एलुमिनेट करके जो है वो हमारे सामने जो है वो रख रहे हैं कि भाई इस माशरे के अंदर जिसमें आप ज़िंदा हैं, यहाँ जो है वो जद्दोजहद ही असल काम है, और जैसे ही आप जो है वो जद्दोजहद तर्क करते हैं तो ज़माना आपको कुचलता हुआ जो है वो गुज़र जाता है। कोई आपकी केयर नहीं करता, नो बडी केयर्स। सोसाइटी के लिए आप उस वक्त तक ही अहम हैं जब तक आप उसके लिए कुछ मुफीद हैं। यही इस इंडस्ट्रियल और मटेरियल वर्ल्ड की तल्ख हकीकत है, जिसको हम नज़रअंदाज नहीं कर सकते हैं। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा मैसेज है जो आर्थर मिलर जो है वो हम तक कन्वे करना चाहते हैं। तो हमें जो है ना असल में इस मटेरियलिज्म ने जो है वो इट हैज़ टर्न्ड अस इनटू मनी मेकिंग ब्रूट, bereft of the innate feelings। हमें बस वो रोबोट लाइक लाइफ अडॉप्ट करना पड़ती है रनिंग इन दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड। बाकी जो फीलिंग्स या इमोशंस हैं वो जो है वो हमारे दे आर सेकेंडरी, वो स्वानवी हैसियत रखते हैं, उनकी कोई अहमियत नहीं है। So man is just like a robot, a mere cog in the running machine of life. This is the message, the American dream. It is a reality, surely. It is a material reality that being a very successful country nowadays, ये 50 की दहाई के बाद का वो ड्रीम है जिसका प्रॉमिस जो है वो आइजनहावर वगैरह ने जो है वो इनके शुरू के जो सदूर हैं 50 की दहाई के बाद के दूसरी जंग अजीम के बाद के, याद रखें कि ये आफ्टर डिस्ट्रक्शन, ये दूसरी जंग अजीम जो है वो तबाही लेकर आई। डिप्रेशन के साथ साथ 1930s का जो इकोनॉमिक डिप्रेशन था, उसके बाद ये दूसरी जंग अजीम जो थी दुनिया के तमाम मुल्कों के लिए ही जो इसमें इन्वॉल्व हुए या नहीं हुए, एक मुआशी तबाही जो थी वो लेकर आई। और फिज़िकली भी अमेरिका वाज ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ ए डिफीट, याद रखें, मिलिटरीली। जापान और जर्मन फौजों ने मिलकर तकरीबन इनको ख़त्म कर दिया था, जिसकी रिटेलिएशन में इन्होंने फिर वो 2 एटम बम आपको पता है गिराए और मजबूरन जो है वो जापान को हथियार डालना पड़े और जर्मनी जो था वो क्रैश आउट हो गया। तो पर्ल हार्बर पर जो हमला था ना जापानीज़ और जर्मन जहाज़ों का, अमेरिका के वो सबसे बड़े हवाई अड्डे पर, उसने अमेरिका को अंदर से हिला के रख दिया था। इनका इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सारे के सारे मुल्क का तबाह व बर्बाद हो गया था इस जंग में। तो 50s में इन्होंने जो है वो अपनी रिकन्स्ट्रक्शन शुरू की और ये वो ड्रीम जो है फिर उन्होंने अपनी आवाम को दिखाना शुरू किया। बहरहाल उठ खड़े हुए और इनका जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर था, सड़कें, मिलें, फैक्ट्रियाँ, ये इन्होंने दोबारा रेनोवेट किया, दोबारा से खड़ा किया, नई चीज़ें जो हैं वो इवॉल्व की हैं। ये ऑटोमोबाइल्स की जो इंडस्ट्री थी ख़ास तौर पर, इसने मुल्क को ऊपर उठाने में बहुत अहम किरदार अदा किया। और ये अमेरिकन ड्रीम जो था वो अब तो हकीकत है भाई। अब तो आपको पता है सारी दुनिया जो है वो अमेरिका भागने के चक्कर में लगी रहती है। इवन द यूरोपियन पीपल रन ऑन टूवर्ड्स अमेरिका टू गेट ग्रेटर सक्सेसेस, मटेरियल सक्सेसेस इन देयर लाइव्स। वो पैसे के चक्कर में, लुक्रेटिव जॉब्स के चक्कर में बहुत से यूरोपियंस जो हैं वो भी अपने मुल्कों को छोड़कर जो अमेरिका बहादुर की तरफ देखते हैं, भागते हैं ग्रीन कार्ड के असूल के लिए। अब तो वो आपको पता है कि शहज़ादा साहब जो है बरतानवी, उसने भी जो है एक अमरीकी खतून से शादी रचा ली है। तो ये हकीकत है, कोई शक नहीं है इसमें। वहाँ अपॉर्चुनिटी बहुत है, लेकिन उस अपॉर्चुनिटी को ग्रैब करने के लिए आपको मेहनत की ज़रूरत है। वहाँ ये नहीं है कि आप अमेरिका की सरहद में दाखिल हो गए हैं तो आपको मटेरियल सक्सेस मिल गई है। नॉट एट ऑल। यू हैव टू वर्क हार्ड, यू हैव टू मेक सम एफर्ट to get prominence and get material earning there. And this is what Arthur Miller is trying to convey to us through his message. Dear students, attached to this American dream, it is the reality that America as a country, as a land, is labeled as a land of opportunity. कि मौके हैं जी, वहाँ जो मेहनत करता है उसे कामयाबी के मौके मिलते हैं। Although every person tries, material luck comes to those who exploit the opportunities indeed. This is what American dream explains further into reality. Howard Wagner in this very play knows that Willy Loman is no match to modern marketing and business innovations. He is a man of the past, an old fellow. That is why he sacks him without feeling any empathy or sympathy, whatever. Although he is an employee of his father, Willy Loman does not see this as an opportunity to improve himself professionally. While for Wagner, it is an opportunity to find new hands who can work well. In the same way, Happy has found an opportunity, but Biff lacks this acumen to see things. In fact, Bernard and Biff both have similar opportunities, but one decides to exploit it while the other does not. This makes the difference. He who grabs the opportunity well in time leads himself to success surely. Dear students, the play Death of a Salesman is the tragedy of a family indeed, which could not accept the changing times. the changing realities of the age. Willy Loman, while trying to materialize his American dream, loses his senses. He knows that he has lost touch with the modern market. Therefore, he depends on his sons to realize his dreams. But both fail, just like their father. Biff doesn't know what to do in life, while Happy doesn't have any dream at all. Charlie and Bernard, their neighbors, have been praised and contrasted by Miller, in contrast to these failing family members. Conversely, Willie Loman and his sons have been implicitly presented as a failed family. One successful family has been presented in contrast to a failed family. Therefore, family and relationship is another minor theme there dealt with in the play by the writer. Dear students, a reality and illusion, that is the truth and dreams. A truth versus dreams. This is what Arthur Miller tries to convey to us. The play has presented another minor theme, that is reality and illusions. Willy Loman dreams that he would succeed, or else his sons would do it in case of his failure. His dream of amassing wealth, coining money, and living in luxury is an illusion that he can't see becoming a reality in his lifetime, despite his claims and rather hollow claims. In fact, he is unable to face the reality of his failure, his son's possible failure, and going against his dream. Therefore, instead of accepting reality, he commits suicide. The only way out of this troublesome, torturing life of his own. Dear students, Arthur Miller has also hinted upon the dangers of modernity in this play, along with the dangers of false daydreaming in the world of American dream. Modernity that has kicked off during the decades of the 50s, as I was talking about earlier in this section of ours, was taking firm roots in the United States, making various professionals entirely obsolete. पुराने पेशे ख़त्म हो रहे थे, नए पेशे उनकी जगह जगह ले रहे थे. In this background, it was posing serious threats to different professions. Willy Loman's profession was one of them. Hence, Howard Wagner starts fidgeting with the radio when talking to Willy to make it clear to him that no technological development is replacing human beings. नए राब्ते, एक टेलीफोन, इंटरनेट, ये वगैरह जो है वो इंसान की रिप्लेसमेंट मशीनों ने कर दी, यूँ कह सकते हैं. Machines have replaced human beings in the longer run. Willy Loman's frustration of his failure in his field costs him his life. The modern objects and their presence in the play too points to this, his increased frustration. Dear students, while discussing the dangers of the modern age capitalist system, the industrialization, the materialism, Arthur Miller also hints at the cruelty of this capitalism. It has just accumulated wealth into a few hands, and the bread earners, the breadwinners, the daily laborers, workers are just nothing valuable. They are just mere cogs. Cruelty and inhumanity of the capitalist world is another minor theme of the play. Howard Wagner knows that Willy Loman has worked for Wagner's father very diligently in the past. He also knows that he is an experienced salesman. But the desire for more profit forces him to show him cold-shouldered due to Willy Loman's inability to make more sales in the modern period. He fails to come up to Wagner's expectations, that is, the expectations of capitalism rather, and has to face sacking. Wagner doesn't see any utility of the old salesman, ignoring his services for the company. And this is a very brief very brief and compact type of explanation of what capitalism is. He shows the cruelty of capitalism through Billy's expulsion. जब उसे निकाल दिया जाता है बेटे तो कैपिटलिज्म इसी का नाम है. कैपिटलिज्म का मतलब ही ये है कि सिर्फ पैसा ही अहम है, इंसान मैटर नहीं करता. Dear students, after going through a long discussion on the message of the author in this play, we come on to conclude our conversation and discussion on this topic of themes, motives, and the purpose of writing of the writer. Willy's life charts a course from one abandonment and betrayal to the next, leaving him in greater despair each time. Willy's father leaves him, and when Willy is very young, almost 3 years of age, leaving Willy neither a tangible nor an intelligible legacy. ना तो कोई फैमिली बैकग्राउंड पीछे छोड़ कर गया उसका वालिद, ना ही कोई उनको मॉनिटरीली कोई चीज़ उनके पास छोड़ कर गया, यानी उनकी लेगेसी कोई नहीं है, उनके पास इनहेरिटेंस कोई नहीं है. इनहेरिटेंस और लेगेसी में फ़र्क याद रखें. इनहेरिटेंस मनी वाइज मटेरियल, और लेगेसी उनका फादरली जो है बैकग्राउंड, फैमिली बैकग्राउंड भी कोई नहीं है. They are thrown into the cold world of reality rather as children. Ben eventually departs for Alaska, leaving Willy to lose himself in a warped vision of the American dream, likely a result of these early experiences. Willy develops a fear of abandonment, which makes him want his family to conform to the अमेरिकन ड्रीम. बेटे ये बड़ा ज़बरदस्त है कि उसको शुरू से ही बेचारे की ख़ानदानी बैकग्राउंड भी ऐसा ही मिला है, और अब एक तबाही के बाद दूसरी तबाही के अंदर दाने पर वो खड़ा है. His efforts to raise perfect sons, however, reflect his inability to understand reality. The young Biff, whom Willy considers the embodiment of promise, drops Willy and Willy's zealous ambitions for him when he finds out about Willy's adultery. Biff's ongoing inability to succeed in business furthers his estrangement from Willy. When, at Frank's chop house, Willy finally believes that Biff is on the cusp of greatness. Biff shatters Willy's illusions and, along with Happy, abandons the deluded, babbling Willy in the washroom. Dear students, Willy's primary obsession throughout the play is what he considers to be Biff's betrayal of his ambitions for him. Willy believes that he has every right to expect Biff to fulfill the promise inherent in him. When Biff walks out on Willy's ambitions for him, Willy takes his rejection as a personal affront. He associates it with insult and spite rather. Willy, after all, is a salesman, and Biff's ego-crushing rebuff ultimately reflects Willy's inability to sell him on the American dream, the product in which Willy himself believes most faithfully. Willy assumes that Biff's betrayal stems from Biff's discovery of Willy's affair with the woman, a betrayal of Linda's love, on the one hand. Whereas Willy feels that Biff has betrayed him, Biff feels that Willy, a phony little fake, has betrayed him too, with his unending stream of ego-stroking lies. तो अज़ीज़ तलबा व तालिबात, ये हमारे सवाल का इख्तिताम. इसके बारे में आपके जहन में कोई सवाल हो, मज़ीद कोई एक्सप्लेनेशन कहीं चाहिए हो, किसी पॉइंट की कोई नुक्ता अनक्लियर चला गया हो, आप कोई एडिशन करना चाहें, मैंने कोशिश की है कि आलमोस्ट एवरीथिंग शुड बी इंक्लूडेड, लेकिन अगर कोई थीम, कोई माइनर, कोई मेजर को रह गया है तो प्लीज़ मुझे आगाह करें, मैं उसको मज़ीद एक्सपेंड कर दूंगा फ्रॉम एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. एनी क्वायरीज फ्रॉम योर साइड आर वेलकम. Dear students, thank you very much for participating in this prolonged discussion of today. See you soon in the next session of ours. Till then, it is Allah Hafiz and goodbye from my side. Thank you very much again.